Ladies and gentlemen, the internet can be an amazing place. We can see funny videos. There are genuinely interesting perspectives and takes, and there's a lot of stuff on the internet that I think is very productive and very good. And I think it makes communication easier. There's a lot of benefit, a lot of good, a lot of things that can bring people together. But the internet has a dark side because humanity has a dark side. And you have people that live empty, meaningless lives, lives of no worth. They have no skills. They're not looked upon favorably by their family or what passes for friends, which are just people they know in their Discord. These are people that are genuinely the most useless human beings ever. And instead of improving themselves, which is a hard thing to do, and going to seek therapy and actually putting in some effort, what they do instead is they find groups, large communities, and they act in the most inhuman way possible. Now, there are people that capitalize on that, that profit off of that. And one such person is somebody that I think is genuinely the worst person on the internet, and that is Hasan Piker. I don't think Hasan Piker is the worst person on the internet because of his political views. I think his views are ignorant. I think they're toxic. I think they're foul, but there are people with more extreme views, and there are people who actually believe what they say. Hasan doesn't believe a single word that he says. You mean to tell me that you think Hasan Piker went from being bro tips to being this communist revolutionary, this angry shit stain that gets mad at every little thing? No, it's an act. It's an act because it's profitable, and there is an army, thousands and thousands of people that feed into that need that validation because they have, again, nothing in their life of value. So they're always looking for a cause, for somebody to tear down, for somebody to hurt, for somebody to intimidate, to somebody to virtue signal on. Because if they can find somebody and make them the bad guy, then that automatically makes them the good guy. That makes them the hero. Now, in this situation, it is a tragic example of the internet going in the worst direction and demonstrating that they are the most irredeemable scum that humanity has ever spawned forth. Because we live in a generation today where you can no longer pay homage to other cultures. You can no longer publicly show your love for other cultures. You can no longer wear the Jordan jersey. You can't wear the Jordans if you're white or if you're not within the very limited, very narrow, acceptable group of people that are a certain color and a certain gender and a certain sexual orientation and have the right politics, because that's another important component. So you get these fucking losers who all swarm around people like Hasan because they need their anger to be validated. They need their hatred to be justified. And so they go after innocent people that didn't do anything to them. Nothing to them. Not a single word said that could possibly be misconstrued as offensive or vitriolic or a personal attack against them. No, you had a couple girls in California, one of them is Asian, who are a fan of J-pop bands in Japan. And they said to themselves, we wanted to put on a performance that pays homage to that. And so they did the look, they did the voices as best they can. Now, the irony, of course, is that these same people, these same mentally ill, evil, demonic, disturbed piles of human waste will get on you for daring to criticize trans people who tell you that they are the opposite gender to which you know that they're not. They will use a woman's voice, and that's okay. You can pretend to be a woman. You can appropriate that culture. You can appropriate that gender. You can do that. That's fine. Can't criticize that. But these girls love something, want to share it with the internet, didn't do it. I watched a couple of the things that people were talking about. Not a single moment Did I see anything that was like, this is grotesquely offensive? But Jake Paul, or Logan Paul, or one of the Paul brothers who went to Japan and acted like a goddamn mongoloid, acted like an embarrassment to the human race, insulted that culture in a way that is so grotesque that I can't believe he was able to recover his career. He's fine. He still has tons of fans. No, he's cool. He's in WWE or he's in boxing. No, that's fine. But these girls have to be doxxed. These girls have to suffer. Why? Because there's a mob of people that live such worthless lives. They have to go after people because they like something I like, or they're not demonstrating their like for that thing in an approved way. Now, Hasan Piker, who I mentioned before, is genuinely a racist person. A racist, hateful person. That part of it is true. He is deeply racist. And so his comment on this, because of course he commented on this, because we wouldn't be here if he didn't comment on this, because his audience is not the same as the audience from like the Quartering. The Quartering is like one of the most bland, generic content creators I've ever seen. A guy who's more interested in peddling, scams like Kamikoto and other stuff like that, rather than giving you the news or being passionate about something. That guy is bland, generic. His audience isn't going to do anything. He doesn't command them to do shit. Hasan's group, they're an army. And they go after people. And they try to hurt people. There's a large discord. Hasan doesn't have to command them, by the way. He doesn't have to point to them. But we know, we've seen. And Destiny has, I would say, maybe not as large of an audience, but a very similarly engaging audience. Although I would argue that they're not as bad because at least they're not, at least from what I've seen, not the same caliber of scum. But they're willing to go out of their way to absolutely wreck people who disagree with Destiny and stuff like that. But here's what Hasan had to say. Why is it they had to be white? Brilliant. The brain trust. Why did they have to be white? Because they're from California? Because they like anime? They like Japanese culture? I mean, this is so preposterously racist, and the fact that people give Hasan a pass is so shocking to me. He is genuinely an evil person. Every day he opens his mouth and just vomits his ignorant garbage onto the internet, and it's filled with some of the most dog shit, brain dead racist takes. Now, if I had seen a bunch of Turkish people that were doing a video that was paying homage to, I don't know, Native Americans or Mexicans or the Spanish, and I looked at that and said, well, they're wearing sombreros and, they're wearing ponchos. And I got on here and I'm like, why did they have to be hairy and brown? Why did they have to be hairy and brown? Why did they have to be Turkish? Why did they? Do you understand how, well, first of all, what that would say about me? It would say about my character that I looked at this and I was bothered by the fact that they were the wrong shade of brown or the wrong color. They're the wrong shade of white or the wrong shade of... I mean, this is the most asinine, ridiculous thing. These girls have been bullied and doxxed by Hasan's group. And this thing is an absolute mess because this group of girls just announced they're disbanding. They're disbanding. That's right. So you can't demonstrate your love or appreciation for something. Otherwise, you're going to get torn down. Otherwise, people like Hasan, these racist, evil people that are absolute plague on the human race, that bring the worst of humanity together and feed on their worst qualities. You talk about Andrew Tate being a bad example. There is no one on the internet that is a worse example for young men than Hasan. He is a hypocrite, to be sure. He doesn't ever live by any of the things that he claims. He never is going to live by the edicts that he just belches out there. He's never going to live by that. But what he will do is he will take the money from people stupid enough to believe his shit. He is a vile, irredeemable person. His racism has been noted multiple times, and his audience is toxic. They are foul people. The worst. And if you want to say, well, it's not all of them. Okay, sure. He has a large audience. Maybe there are some of them that are nice people. Maybe they're just dumb. I've seen a couple OnlyFans models say, oh, I watch Hasan. You know they don't really watch Hasan. They watch Hasan, probably with the sound off. Or doesn't really matter because they don't understand what he's saying. Hasan is not for the intellectual. He's not for somebody who is intelligent or moral or decent. He is for the scourge of the internet. He is for people looking for drama and hatred and anger because they want something, anything, to distract themselves from their life. And Hasan provides that. He absolutely does. I popped into a couple of Hasan streams, and I mean this genuinely. I have the utmost pity for his audience. Because I watched a couple minutes of Hasan, and it was some of the most shockingly awful commentary and content I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. It was a combination of things. One time I tuned in, and he was eating on stream, which was disgusting. If I wanted to watch, if I wanted to watch people eat on stream, I'd watch the more ridiculous mukbang videos, and if I wanted to watch, some disgusting animal, eat, I'd go watch some cow video grazing in a field, because at least then it would be more pleasant than watching Hasan eat food. The other times he actually got up and left, and my point in saying all this is that Hasan is the perfect package of being the absolute worst. The absolute worst. There is nobody online that I think is worse than Hasan. That includes Nick Fuentes and other people who say terrible, ignorant shit. But at the end of the day, those people are not as bad as Hasan. Because Hasan not only says evil, irredeemable shit, but he has insider access for some inexplicable reason. I cannot explain to you why somebody who doxes, he doesn't dox directly. His audience comes out after he says something racist and hurts these people. But the fact is that Hasan sits there, doesn't have a problem with this. He may come out and say, oh, I had nothing to do with this. No, he did. He did. Because when you're evil, and Hasan is evil, and you threaten people, and you try to interfere with their personal lives, and you try to destroy them because they like something in a way that you don't think is appropriate, and Hasan goes out and says, well, why did they have to be white? That wasn't all he said. I genuinely don't understand that. He doesn't understand why a couple white girls in California decided that they wanted to put on an act to pay homage to J-pop artists in Japan. There's nothing new about American interest in J-pop groups, but according to Stephanie Chow, a postdoctoral associate at the Asian Research Institute at the State University of New York at Buffalo, there are major misunderstandings about the difference between K-pop and J-pop. That's not from these people. Maybe that's true. Maybe the general population is like, okay, K-pop is guys and J-pop is girls, but who cares? J-pop has been popular in the U.S. as a youth subculture. So okay, yes. With the rise of manga and anime and Japanese culture, yes, some people have decided that they like Japanese content. They like Japanese creators, so they pay homage to it. And according to the scum of the internet, the most brain dead, hypocritical morons, you can't do that. Or we're going to destroy your life. There aren't words. There genuinely aren't words. And for Hasan to react to this, and for his words to be, why is it that they had to be white? Defend that. No, go ahead. If you're a Hasan simp, defend that. Why did they have to be white? Why did they have to be brown? Would you be okay with that? Do you think that's normal? Do you think that, not people like me, because I have a small channel, but the biggest content creators on a platform, do you think if they said, why did they have to be brown when talking about something, do you think it'd be okay? Do you think it would be okay? No. And by the way, isn't it interesting that racism against white people from Hasan is okay, but people criticizing, not their race, but their performance, people criticizing the race swapping and, gender swapping of characters, or race and gender swapping of characters, people who criticize that, well, you're not allowed to do that either. My answer is fuck you people. Genuinely, you are evil. I would never listen to you about anything. Your life is an absolute mess. You sit all day watching Hasan. You give money to Hasan instead of looking forward to the future, instead of trying to better your life, going to therapy, doing things, going to the gym. You decide instead to hurt people and be racist and be the most vile, toxic version of yourself that you possibly can be. Now, Hasan will take your money for years, but there's going to get a point where you realize how much time and money that you've wasted on absolutely nothing. You have done nothing. You are going out there and doxing and hurting people that have never done anything to you. Nothing to you. I guarantee most of Hasan's audience are not Japanese. They are not Japanese, but they are going to get offended on behalf of the Japanese. Don't you worry. They're going to get offended on their behalf. These fucking losers. These sorry, sad, sadistic motherfuckers. It makes my blood boil because you have three girls. They could be cringe. They could be terrible. Their politics, their beliefs, whatever they do, they could like anime. Oh, they watch anime dubbed. Who the hell knows? Who the hell cares? Oh, the best Death Note is not the manga or the anime. It's the Netflix adaptation. Doesn't matter. Oh, I first learned about Cowboy Bebop from the Netflix show. Doesn't matter. These girls have done nothing that would justify them being brutalized in the way that they were by Hasan and his audience. Now, I was ready to give Hasan a pass because I'm like, what did Hasan really say? But it's the racism that bothers me. The casual racism from Hasan. Why did they have to be white? Hasan, let me just break this down. If you don't like white people, why do you live in the whitest part of California? Why do you live in LA? Why don't you move to, Oakland? Why don't you move to Fremont, Hayward? Why don't you move up north in California, or maybe move to a different state if you want? Why are you living in the whitest, most wealthy part of America complaining about there's too many white people? Here's an idea, Hasan. Most of the world's population are not white. If you have this deep, resounding hatred of white people, why don't you move there? You can move anywhere. You can afford it. You're a millionaire. You could go to Africa. You could go to Sudan. You could Go anywhere you want to. You go to the Caribbean, buy yourself a nice boat. You could sail. You could go to Dubai. You could go anywhere you want to, but this is where you've chosen. You've chosen to live in America. You've chosen to be part of this culture and this community of people. You chose this. And yet, when something like this comes along, you are the first person to hate on white people. You're evil. You're an ungrateful, spoiled bastard. There's nothing good or genuine about you or anything that you do. And people who are genuine and good, whenever they're around you, it's like there's this poison, this toxic miasma of filth. And that's what you are, Hasan. You hurt people. You don't help people. You hurt people. You go down to these, I'm going down to the Hollywood writer's strike. You and I both know that you're not doing that because you care about the writer's strike. You want to get in good with people in Hollywood. You want to be out there, front and center, virtue signaling. That's what you want to do. Because if you were genuinely a good person, this would not be at the tip of your tongue. Why are they white? There's nothing wrong with being white. There's nothing wrong with being any race. There's nothing inherently evil about white people. But there is something inherently evil about you. I don't know what it is. I don't know why you have this need to hate on white people and hate on people in general. It's not just white people. You hate on a lot of people who disagree with you. Now, it's true, the majority of them are white. I mean, I don't know if you consider people like Ben Shapiro white or Jewish. I don't know how you make that distinction. I'm not somebody that focuses on the color of people's skin the way that you do, but these girls didn't do anything to you. They didn't hurt you. They didn't say a mean word to you. In fact, I would argue, before you try to ruin them, I bet they'd be fans of yours. That's my prediction. I mean, but who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just so sick and tired of this. There's no justification for this. There's no redeeming element of this. It's just vile. And if you read the situation about them disbanding, it's heartbreaking. We are sad to announce that Sorbet will be disbanding. We want to clarify that it is not due to the turmoil between members. The three of us are all still friends and care about each other. The reason behind our disbandment is the whole situation taking a huge toll on all of our physical and mental health. The three of us were doxxed, threatened, and people interfered with all of our personal lives. So even though we all want to see Sorbet through and achieve our idle dreams together as a trio, we all thought it would be best if we dissolved the group. However, what makes us truly happy is performing. We all have an intense love and passion for it. That's why you've been seeing us active on our individual accounts. We can't stop ourselves from wanting to. Making others smile and inspire other people the same way that our favorite idols inspire us. God, this is hard to get through. What did these people do to deserve this? And here you have Hasan Piker is genuinely one of the worst human beings online. Absolutely. Indefensible what Hasan is doing. I may not know who you people are, but people taking time to dox you all is kind of disgusting to hear. It's very disgusting. Sorry to hear that happen. Can't imagine. I'm sorry to hear this, stranger. Good luck in future endeavors. And to those that harass you, I wish you nothing but shame. They have no shame. They have no shame. This person says, human beings are really horrible. Not all of them. Some of us agree that it's wrong to do what these other people did. And at this point, Hasan fans, I don't know. No way people saw 3 girls having fun and decided to harass them like this. Yeah, that genuinely is what happened. People saw these girls having fun, enjoying Japanese culture, got offended. Hasan exacerbated the situation by broadcasting it to his audience, being a racist, irredeemable, evil pile of shit. And they took that as permission to go out and dox these girls and try to ruin their lives. Because they're white and enjoying Japanese culture. And apparently, to some people, that's not okay. This is so sad. Y'all were so cute and never stopped being cute. Don't disband and let the haters win. I know it's easy to say that, but Hasan has a huge channel. Huge. And his audience are the most vile people on the fucking planet. And not everyone is fortunate enough to be in a position like mine. You see, I moved from California. I live in the middle of nowhere. So, for me, it would suck. Really suck. If people knew where I lived. But them getting here, no one would waste the money to get all the way up here. And even if they did, I mean, I live on I don't want to get into it. I live on a goddamn compound. Cameras, alarms, But I feel bad for girls like this who didn't do anything and are in big cities. This is the fault of Hasan. I want to know if Hasan even mentioned this. Yeah, doubtful.
They're just cringe. Like, they didn't. No, what I do think is like really funny about this is that like they're just cringe. Like, they didn't do anything illegal. They didn't even do anything hateful. Let's be fucking real. Like, yeah, it's like cultural appropriation, but like it's so cringe that it's not like they're not. I don't know.
It's not cultural appropriation. It's cultural appreciation. Cultural appropriation is not a thing. It doesn't exist. But for the minds of racists like Hasan. No. They appreciate something. They're fans of it. They didn't say they were trying to steal it. They weren't trying to steal it. They wanted to pay homage to it. So that's wrong.
I don't know how to describe it. Like, they're not exactly like, who are they hurting? Like,
their actions aren't affecting.
Who did Bidichan hurt? Okay, explain to me. Explain to me how she did the hurt and who she hurted. Okay.
This seems like an after the fact type of thing, but I'm not entirely sure. We read the comments from Hasan. I mean, it's just. So that was it. That was it. I mean, no. There's got to be more than that. Streamer of the Year nominees and Hasan is there. You know what? Streamer of the Year. People ask, why do you hate like Twitch and all these other places? So it doesn't seem like Hasan has mentioned this again, only to basically retweet this account, this meme account, avoiding responsibility. Just a reminder that Hasan harasses women online in IRL. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, he does. You mean to tell me that bro tips? Let's see.
Why people need to make a resurgence or something? What the fuck's going on? Why people need to make a resurgence or something? What the
White people need to make a resurgence or something.
What the fuck's going on?
My name is Barry, and I'm the leader and pink member of Sorbet. So I'm going to teach you my call and response. So I start out by saying, strawberry, and then you repeat back, blueberry. And when I ask, who's everyone's sweet idol, you're going to say, Betty John. Are you ready? Strawberry! Blueberry! 右の甘いアイドルはベリーちゃん！はいはい、ベリーです！
Look at this fucking animal. I swear to God, I'm getting heated. There's nothing wrong with that. Was it cringe? A little bit. But this guy is such a fucking mongoloid. Such a... Oh, God, It's just... Here's the thing. Hasan is so fucking useless. And he does nothing to contribute to anything. He doesn't bring any sort of positivity. He is a black hole. He is an anus. He does not produce anything of value ever. He is always looking to duckface or to pose or virtue signal or generate some hatred that he can get some money off of. This girl didn't do anything. The first thing out of Hasan's mouth in this clip is white people need to make a resurgence. So basically saying, this girl is white. So he's basically prejudging her. This piece of shit that lives in America, a predominantly white country, chooses to live here. This entitled piece of shit. Holy crap. This is an evil person. And it's not his skin color. That's what Hasan says because he's too stupid and too weak to accept criticism. He's a narcissist. He is a narcissist. There is nothing about what this woman did that was in any way wrong. It didn't deserve any sort of hatred at all. It wasn't cultural appropriation. It was cultural appreciation. She wasn't trying to take credit for it, you fucking spaz. Holy shit. She wasn't trying to say, this is mine now. She wasn't trying to say, this is mine. She was sharing something that she cares about. Now, would I watch her content? No, I think it's cringe. I don't like that type of stuff. But she liked it. And because of that, your dumb fuck, brain dead, evil, degenerate, scum of the earth audience decided that they were going to dox and harass her for no fucking reason. Whew. Holy shit. I mean, and Hasan, of course, didn't apologize, didn't take accountability, didn't do anything. What does Hasan do? He retweets this. That's it. Then goes, hey, let's talk about me, or let's do something about me. Let's post a stupid fucking meme. How about an apology to these women that you and your audience went after them? How about that? How about an apology? See, Hasan believes that a content creator is responsible for the actions of their audience. He believes that. But not when it comes to him. No. He can accuse them of being, cultural appropriators and blast them for being white. That's okay. They're white. I mean, they're cultural appropriation. I tell you what, I get more and more jaded the more that I see people like this have an audience. Hasan should not have an audience. And I'm not saying that he should be deplatformed. I'm saying that people should have in their good judgment the ability to realize what a piece of shit he is and choose not to watch him, but they don't. So, that in itself is depressing. I want to apologize to these women. I didn't do anything to you, but you didn't do anything to me, and you, unfortunately, have had to deal with a whole lot of stuff that you didn't deserve because a duck-facing prima donna piece of shit that is an irredeemable pile of garbage that the earth and the human race would be better off if he got off the internet. I apologize that him and his vile army of degenerate miscreants that are so pathetic that honestly, they barely qualify as being human at this point. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I will bid you a good day. I hope these girls go on to have some kind of success. just because, while I may not be interested in what they're doing, may not be my cup of tea, they seem to be happy doing it. And some miserable black hole of joy, like Hasan, comes in and tries to ruin it. And his army of... yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you next time.